So it is finally shooting time. This spot that I am at, it's like tourist central here right now. Rightly so, it's Canadian Rockies. I really want this shot before fall takes over and obviously winter takes over, so I came all the way out to Peyto Lake, which is about a 2-hour drive for me. And yeah, it's actually really, really beautiful. I am actually going to photograph this with my 70-200. I'm going to explain why. I'll show you the camera, how it is set up, and then I'm going to make the scary climb over to the rock and go sit on it. I already have the dress on. Had to do that while there was no people here. I have like probably 5 minutes where I have it on my own, so fingers crossed nobody else comes. Otherwise you guys will hear them and then I'm just gonna look like an idiot in my yellow dress. But anyways, let me show you the scene. Let me explain to you why I'm using the 70-200, not the 16-35, and then it's time to get shooting. So there is, you can see it right there. That's the rock I'm going to be sitting on. And again, I have my 70-200 on. Let's look at what it looks like in the back of the camera so you guys can get an idea of what I'm doing here. So it's probably pretty dark on the back of the camera because that mountain over there just has so much shade. But here's what it looks like, the 70-200. I want to have the self-portrait compressed against those mountains rather than having it wide with all of like the other messy rocks in the frame. So I think that this will actually look really, really beautiful because it's dark here, which I do want, and then it transitions from like the dark into the light. So when I edit this, actually, I think it's going to turn out really beautifully. That rock looks like it is pretty simple to get on, but it's actually not. It is quite the journey over there. Scary because it's on a slant, but I'll make it work. So I just want to show you guys the rock so you can get a better sense of how scary it is to walk up it. I thought about not doing it because I'm alone, so if anything were to happen, it would just be bad news because there's no service, there's no one up here. So here it is. That is the rock. Even just look, oh my gosh, even that just looks so beautiful. I should have photographed it like this with the 16-35. That would be really pretty. But that is the rock, and you have to kind of like straddle and hang on to the edge there when you're walking up. It is a little bit scary. Let me zoom in so you can see. But at the top it's quite flat, so it's pretty easy to sit on. And then you gotta climb all the way back down through here, and I did it barefoot. Good job, Sarah. So here is one of them. I'm probably gonna have to do a little bit of, I don't know, I'm gonna have to fix that. My head is still like in the blue of the lake, but it's cutting it really close to the tree line. So I could have changed this by just simply shooting higher, but I didn't. But I will be able to fix that in post and just bring myself down a little tiny bit lower. So for the portrait part, let's bring up the histogram so you guys can have a look at it here. Okay, nice and exposed. Clipping the highlights a little bit, but that's the blown out sky, which I will photograph after once the light is not so intense. And yeah, so I lost my train of thought there for a second. So I photographed this at F8 because I do want the whole scene to be sharp and in focus. Oh, now it's not focusing over there. So I do want it to be all in focus, and I had to raise my ISO just a little bit. I think I went to ISO 400, which gave me a really fast shutter speed. So that was the part for just me, which we talked about in the last video about ISO. And now I'm going to change my settings, ISO 100, and get the sky so that it's not blowing out in the camera. There is nowhere to film. So right after I finished shooting, I am so happy that I did it when I did it, because I had maybe 20 minutes to myself of that spot, because a lot of other people like to come up there. Like, the rock pile is huge and a lot of other people love to come up there, and again, rightfully so. It is tourist season. It's also a Saturday, which I actually try to hibernate in the summertime, believe it or not, because it's just so touristy here, even though I have all these amazing locations to photograph at. But anyways, school is back in, so during the week there should definitely be less tourists, which will be nice. Okay, anyways, let me finish explaining about that shot. So that was like a classic example again of when you should know what lens to use, so like what focal length to use. I feel at that spot the 70-200 compressed, like me compressed against the lake and the mountain, was a far better choice than my 16-35. However, if there was a lot of clouds and the sky was just epic and blowing up, a 16-35 probably would have worked really well there, but it would have been tricky to compose, like with the foreground and all of those rocks. So you kind of have to assess the scene and then decide which focal length is going to get the job done right and give you your vision, basically. There really is no right and wrong answer. There's just, I think, better ways to make shots more what's the word I'm looking for? Impactful, I guess? I don't know. Just the 70-200 just helped me execute my vision a lot better. And I'm pretty happy with how the image turned out. Now I gotta go back home and edit it and put it all together. But you've already seen the image because I put it in before this scene. What else do we need to talk about? I'm driving back home, so I've got about a 2-hour drive to get back, and then I have a lot of editing to do tomorrow morning. If you enjoyed this video, please consider subscribing, and I do have a question for you guys. What sort of content are you enjoying the most? There's basically two paths on YouTube, and I try to do a blend of both. But do you like the videos where it's like full-on teaching? I'm teaching you something. Really is no like storytelling involved. I'm just teaching you, like, this is what ISO does, for example. Or do you like the videos better where it's more organic and there's some teaching involved and I show you how to create things, but I talk about like life stuff and what's going on in my life, and even though that kind of sounds very narcissistic in a way, but you get what I mean. So please leave a comment below and tell me what you prefer, because I'm very curious. I know what I like making the most, which I'll probably stick with that, but really want to know what you guys think. Couple of things about the store. So I am adding some limited edition prints. I'm very slowly but surely getting them on there. I actually just sold one yesterday, and I'm doing this before Christmas so that if you guys would like to get a limited edition print from me, they will be available very, very soon. And they're going to be the yellow dress ones to start. So again, limited edition prints. Oh, they're amazing, the company that I found, and I've been plugging away at my website and getting those set up. I'm going to send it out in a newsletter, of course, but I will be giving a 30% discount off of these prints for a limited time. So again, you'll be notified in email, so subscribe to my email list so that you don't miss it. And the Ireland tour participants, you will get an email as well about the tour, because I have finished planning that. And yeah, I've just been working a lot, and next video I'm actually hoping to go up the Icefields Parkway again and actually show you all of my favorite spots. But this video is going to be, probably have to cut into parts because it's going to be really long. This is a 3-hour stretch of highway, and I'm probably going to car camp on the journey. So that'll either be the next week or the week after that. We will see. But I gotta test out my car for some car camping, so I think you guys would really like that journey. I guess that I should probably stop talking and start driving home. I hope you enjoyed that video. Sorry it was probably so short and not much footage, but again, tourists, guys, tourists. Please subscribe, give this video a like. Love you guys. Talk to you next week. Bye.